Hello everyone, welcome to Hot Button TV with me, Chinyere Favor. And here on this channel, we have objective and dispassionate analysis on issues on the front burner of national discourse here in Nigeria. Two issues we'll be looking at today. First is insecurity in Nigeria. The designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern by the United States of America and President Donald Trump. But first, before we go any further, I'd like us to see a video. Various videos have emerged ever since that designation. Various arguments, perspectives. Nigeria is a country of sovereignty. Yes, we do agree 100%. But then how did we get here? How is it even necessary to have a President Donald Trump designate Nigeria as a CPC, country of particular concern? Due credits to Arise News on this upcoming video, and of course to my former colleague at Silverbird Television, now with Arise News, Adeswa Omoran. Let's watch this video and we'll be back to talk some more.
Like I said, we know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them as a government?
Of course we do. They live with the same community we live.
So why is it difficult to get them?
That is the $1 million question that I should ask you.
We are trying to understand, for those of us who are now conversant with Zamfara, have never been there, and we hear you as a chief security officer speak tonight to say you know these people, but yet you can't get them. It's a head scratcher.
It is something that we are trying to all put our heads together. And that is why, from what I can do as a governor, to have this CPG as a first line of defense. Of course, military are there, police are there, as well as civil defense, but they are not under my control. They are under the control of federal government, and they are doing their best. And like I said also, our security forces have the ability to crush these guys.
But they are not.
They're trying their best.
Right, welcome back. There you had the governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, talking about terrorism and banditry in Nigeria, particularly in Zamfara State, where you and I know is a battlefield with this insecurity in Nigeria. Let's ask ourselves again, what is Nigeria lacking? Intelligence? Equipment? What is it really that has lingered for this long to the point that we have been designated a country of particular concern? Now let's face the real issues. As you know, this platform is dispassionate, apolitical, and of course analysis with utmost integrity and objectivity. What are we lacking? If Nigeria is decisive about this matter, I tell you, we would not need a Donald Trump to do anything or send military or take a military action into Nigeria to get this issue solved. You heard in the words of the governor, we know where they are. The armed forces are doing their bit, but then he says they have the capacity to deal with these issues. All right, let's see what happens. Second video of the day, of course, in the course of the week, we had the altercation between Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, and the young naval officer, A.M. Yerima, Lieutenant A.M. Yerima, in that disputed Abuja site. Let's look at that video and we'll be back to talk some more.
Sir, everything was acquired legally. And sir, you get the...
Will you stop that?
I'm an officer, I have integrity.
Shut up, you're not good officer.
I will not shut up.
Will you get out?
Sir, I won't shut up. Sir,
I was in school, you're not in school.
Sir, you can't shut
Will
me
you
up.
keep quiet? Get me a big food.
I'm not a
You are a big
fool.
fool.
I'm not a
You
fool,
think I
sir.
shoot anybody?
Sir, I'm not
You
a
are a big
fool.
fool.
I am not a fool, sir.
As for the time I graduated, you are in primary school.
I'm acting on orders.
Take for which order? You see whether you love me here.
Sir, you can't call me a fool.
Go and put up your
I'm an
mouth.
officer. I'm not a fool, sir.
You will have killed everybody.
No, we won't kill anybody. We won't kill anybody. We are acting on orders.
You take your building plan for development.
Go and develop. Go and develop here, let me see you.
Regular officer, you want to come and complain?
We are going to get out.
I'm not even seeing what is recording. Hello, sir.
Director Press.
Vice Admiral Gambo does not have a document, a title document, showing that he owns the land. He does not own the land. Now, assuming we're not considering that he has title documents and he owns the land, before you begin development of a land, there are processes you must pass through. One of such processes is to have a building plan. Building plan showing what you want to put on the land. And you take your building plan to the development control. See, you take your building plan to development control. The question Nigeria should ask Vice Admiral Gambo is, did he take his building plan on that land to development control, and the development control approve the building plan?
All right, welcome back. You saw that video, but what are the issues here? Two issues. First, on the side of Minister Wike, is that the building in question has no proper documentation and approval to erect that kind of building in that site. The second issue, the young military officer, Lieutenant A.M. Yerima, on duty as a naval officer, of course, sent or attached to that site by his boss, a retired chief of naval staff. But let's look at again what transpired at the site. The police, whose duty it is to enforce law and order in a democratic society. The military on ground at the site, who is detailed to provide assistance and security to a respected former service chief. The scenario, a confrontation, an altercation, from what I have gathered and the perspectives of both the minister and the owner of that land, there has been an interface, a discussion before that particular incident. And then at the site, it was a case of Minister Wike coming to enforce law and order himself, having sent some officials of the FCTA. Now the barricade, do not cross this line. Like what we say in Nigeria, fences written, military fence or military property, keep off. We are not even talking about the fact that, with all due respect to the high-ranking military authorities, but this remains a democratic government, and the police is saddled with the responsibility of enforcing law and order. One is asking the question of a naval military officer at a building site is supposed to be statutorily enforcing the integrity of Nigeria territorially, this time a naval officer across the waterways to protect Nigeria from external aggression. Is the duty of the army in a democratic government. Not a fan of Wike, not a supporter or a spokesperson for Wike. I am a journalist and of course would be accurate and objective in all of my analysis. But let's look at a few issues before we go on this video. One, the building has no approval yet, as said by Minister Wike. Two, buildings all over Nigeria, not just in the FCT, across Nigeria, are being demolished for the same reason: documentation, approval issues. So the question remains, and I'd like you to ponder on this. If that building was not owned by a former service chief, would it be appropriate with the same laws to demolish that building? Is the argument what is right or the altercation? Let's always stay on the issues. Do share, interact, like this video, and of course, keep following Hot Button TV for objective and dispassionate analysis on all burning issues in Nigeria. I'll see you in the next one. I remain Chinyere Favor.